Sergio Ramos spent more than a decade fighting Lionel Messi like a sworn enemy. He chased him, fouled him, stared him down in the most brutal El Clásicos of modern football. And yet, years later, Ramos finally broke his silence and admitted something no Real Madrid captain was ever supposed to say. There is one thing Messi does that even Cristiano Ronaldo could not. What is it? And why did this realization haunt one of the toughest defenders of his generation? Before we begin, don't forget to like the video, share it with a friend who loves football debates, and subscribe to the channel if you want stories from inside the game, without filters. To understand why this confession matters, you need to understand who Sergio Ramos really is. Sergio Ramos was not just a defender. He was the symbol of resistance, the captain of Real Madrid during the most violent, most intense era of El Clásico, the man who faced Lionel Messi more than any other defender in history. Dozens of clashes, red cards, elbows, stares, silence filled with tension. At the same time, Ramos shared a locker room with Cristiano Ronaldo for 9 seasons. He watched Ronaldo score 50, then 55, then 60 goals in a single year. He saw what obsession, power, and repetition could do to football records. And then there was Lionel Messi. Even at 37, even approaching 38, Messi was still leading attacking charts, still producing over 70 goal contributions in a season, still bending games without shouting, without demanding the spotlight. So here's the real question. If Ramos knows Ronaldo's hunger better than anyone, if Ramos survived Messi at his peak, why does he now say Messi did something Ronaldo never could? The confession did not come after a defeat, it did not come after a humiliation, and it certainly did not come in the heat of El Clásico. It came years later in a calm interview when Sergio Ramos no longer needed to protect a badge, a rivalry, or a dressing room hierarchy. Ramos was asked a simple question. Who was harder to face, Messi or Ronaldo? At first he smiled, the kind of smile that hides unfinished wars. Then he paused, and that pause said more than any statistic ever could. For years, Ramos explained he prepared for Cristiano Ronaldo the same way every defender did. Study the runs, block the angles, anticipate the jump, survive the power. Ronaldo was a storm, but a storm with a direction. Messi was different. Ramos admitted that against Messi, preparation felt incomplete. You could analyze videos for hours, set your defensive line perfectly, win the first duel, and still feel exposed. Not beaten, exposed. Because Messi didn't attack space the way Ronaldo did. He created space where none existed. And that, according to Ramos, was the moment he realized something unsettling. Facing Messi was not about stopping a player. It was about surviving a distortion of reality. A defender expects danger from the front. Messi made it come from everywhere. And once Ramos understood that, he says, the fear wasn't physical anymore. It was psychological. When Sergio Ramos finally put it into words, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't exaggerate. That's what made it terrifying. He said, in essence, that Cristiano Ronaldo could destroy you even if you did everything right. But with Messi, you could do everything right and still feel lost. That sentence changes everything. Ronaldo was measurable. His danger lived in numbers, in zones, in timing. A defender could say, if I'm here, if the line is tight, if the cross is blocked, we survive. And sometimes you did. Messi erased that comfort. Ramos explained that Messi's greatest weapon was not speed, not strength, not even finishing. It was uncertainty. Messi didn't announce his intentions. He didn't sprint to warn you. He didn't dominate with his body. He waited. He observed. And then, in half a second, the entire defensive structure lost its meaning. For Ramos, that was the difference. Ronaldo punished mistakes. Messi forced mistakes to exist. One defender steps out too early. Another hesitates. A midfielder turns his head for a fraction of a second. That was enough. And here's the most disturbing part of Ramos's confession. He said that against Messi, you often realize the danger after it had already passed you. Not because you were slow, but because you were thinking in straight lines, while Messi was playing in curves. That's not a skill you can train against easily. That's not something video analysis can neutralize. And that is why Ramos admitted something rare for a warrior. Against Messi, control was an illusion. This is where Sergio Ramos's confession stops being personal and starts becoming historical. For more than 15 years, football tried to answer one question with numbers. Who scored more? Who won more trophies? Who dominated the biggest stages? And by those measures, Cristiano Ronaldo built a legacy that looks almost unreal. Seasons with 50 or 60 goals, Champions League nights defined by headers, volleys, and decisive strikes. Ronaldo was football reduced to its most brutal efficiency. But Ramos's words expose a deeper layer, because Messi's greatness was never about repetition. It was about disruption. Ronaldo bent matches through force. Messi reprogrammed them. Against Ronaldo, a team could suffer but remain itself. Against Messi, teams slowly stopped recognizing their own shape. Ramos remembered matches where Messi didn't score, didn't assist, didn't celebrate. And yet, Real Madrid's entire defensive block was stretched, twisted, pulled out of position. Fullbacks unsure whether to step up. Center-backs unsure whether to follow. Midfielders afraid to turn their backs. That's when history changes tone. Because when you ask defenders who was harder, many will mention Ronaldo's power. But when you ask them who made them feel helpless, the answer often drifts toward Messi. And Ramos, the ultimate competitor, the ultimate rival, didn't deny that. He didn't say Messi was better, he said Messi was different in a way football still struggles to define. That distinction matters, because legacies are not only written in goals, they are written in the fear they leave behind. And Messi, according to those who faced him most, left a very specific kind of fear. What makes Sergio Ramos's confession even more unsettling is this simple fact. Messi never stopped doing it. Not at 30, not at 35, not even now. While time slowly eroded speed and endurance, Messi's most dangerous weapon remained untouched. His ability to read chaos faster than anyone else. His talent for appearing where logic says he shouldn't be. Coaches in MLS said it openly. One of them admitted that Messi could be involved in 4 decisive actions in a single match without ever dominating the ball. Another said Messi wasn't challenging defenders anymore. He was challenging time itself. And this is where Ramos's words echo louder. Because Ronaldo, even today, still beats you with output, with numbers, with presence. Messi beats you with absence. He disappears for minutes, then he reappears exactly where your structure collapses. So the question becomes unavoidable. If defenders like Ramos, men built for pressure, for chaos, for war, admit that Messi's football cannot be fully prepared for, what does that say about greatness? Is the greatest player the one who scores the most, or the one who forces everyone else to doubt their own positioning, instincts, and decisions? Messi doesn't overpower football, he confuses it. And confusion, as every defender knows, is the beginning of defeat. Sergio Ramos didn't crown a winner. He did something far more honest. He admitted that Messi and Ronaldo hurt defenders in completely different ways, and that one of those ways still has no antidote. So now the question is yours. Does Ramos's confession change how you see the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry? Is greatness measured in goals or in the fear you leave behind? If this story surprised you, like the video. If it made you think, share it. And if you want more unfiltered truths from inside football, subscribe to the channel. There is one last layer in Sergio Ramos's confession that often goes unnoticed. Defenders are trained to fight what they can see. Speed, strength, timing, power. That's why Cristiano Ronaldo, as devastating as he is, fits a familiar fear. You brace yourself, you prepare your body, you accept the duel. Messi creates a different fear. It's the fear of being outthought, not outrun. The fear that the mistake won't come from your legs, but from your brain. Ramos hinted at this without saying it directly. Against Messi, defenders didn't feel beaten in the moment. They felt beaten afterwards when they replayed the action and realized the danger had been there all along. Invisible, silent, inevitable. That's why Messi's impact ages differently. Speed fades, power fades, but intelligence doesn't. And maybe that's the most uncomfortable truth of all. Messi doesn't just win games, he forces football to admit that logic, preparation, and discipline sometimes aren't enough. Some players conquer the game, others expose its limits. Before we go any further, like the video, subscribe, and share it, because what you're about to hear is not said lightly. Sergio Ramos fought Cristiano Ronaldo in training every single day. He survived him. He learned him. He controlled him. But Lionel Messi, Years after the wars of El Clasico ended, Ramos finally admitted something that sounds almost forbidden for a Real Madrid legend. Messi didn't beat him with power. Messi didn't beat him with speed. Messi beat him by making football stop making sense. And when a defender who built his career on domination tells you that one man made him feel lost, you don't argue. You listen. So stay with me. Because this story isn't about who scored more goals. It's about the one thing defenders fear most, not knowing where danger will come from next.